on TOWIE, I was branded as the ice queen. I remember my hands were shaking. The anxiety was overtaking my whole body at that point. So I'd go to sleep thinking a whole room full of cameras were watching me.
Ruined the mood.
My mum, she's a complete stranger. It's almost like I just haven't got one and that's it. I can't imagine doing that to my child, Madison. Everything's perfect. Then I meet a guy, absolutely took the stuffing out of me. And that's when I started to go partying.
What's your best dating advice?
Don't.
Just don't date.
No, I'm joking.
I want to go to TOWIE.
It completely changed my life overnight, like that. But I did start to question my career choices, like my worth in this industry.
So what do you do next?
The press, they were terrible. And they like to build you up, not too high, just to where they think you should be. And then they like to tear you down or watch you fall down. But I feel like I've sorted me and Maddie out, like we're good.
So remember how I said, what does the industry think of you? And you said,
Ice queen.
well, can I show you something? I have lots of surprises for you, Chloe.
Oh God, I'm think you're gonna cry.
Hey there, before we begin the episode, I just want to say thank you for choosing We Need to Talk. Doing this podcast is one of the greatest joys of my life, and I want to continue to share it with you. So please subscribe. It's free, it takes just a second, and it helps us to continue to grow this podcast. Chloe Sims, We Need to Talk.
Okay.
You looked at me like that was the corniest thing.
I wasn't sure what you was gonna say. You started for Chloe Sims. I was like,
Yeah, we need to talk. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you.
okay.
Now you're thinking, why?
Yeah, why?
Why? I don't think you realize how important you are to so many people
Right.
and how impactful you are and how you literally change lives. I don't think you do. But I want to talk about how you changed my life, literally, okay? We met 8 years ago.
Was it 8
It
years?
was 8 years. It was almost 9 years ago.
What?
Yeah, we look better though.
Not a decade. It's airing me out here. Oh my God.
We met
no way.
10 years ago when you were 19.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you remembered my age.
Yes. And we met on Celebs Go Dating.
Yes.
And I distinctly remember several things about you on this show, right? One is I feel, and I'm not just saying this to say it, is I feel like everyone looked at you as the queen,
Okay.
right? Production, the other celebs, us, as the agents. Everyone looked up to you. Now, this was my first time coming to the UK.
Oh.
So I was thinking, like, who is this? like who is she a member of the royal family? Like,
The Essex one. That's funny.
everyone looked up to you. And then I remember at the very end of the series, I said, Chloe, can I talk to you? You probably don't even remember this.
Yeah, I do remember.
And I came to your room.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I really get into this industry?
Mm.
What do I do? And you were the first person to sit down and give me advice on here's what you do, Paul. You should do this, you should do this. And it wasn't you just saying these things, but you meant it truly. When I look back at the people who were most impactful to me, of falling in love with the UK, you were on that list.
Oh, that really means a lot to me. I'm not good at taking the compliments that you're trying to give me. And it's some of the things you said there were strange because that whole queen looking up to things, I didn't realize that I had that. And people used to say it about me and I used to find it weird, like I used to think, what do you mean? Like I wasn't trying to portray that energy, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But I do think that I've got like the tough and the soft thing about me now. I do feel like I do have that and I probably did have it back then. But I can't remember much of Celebs Go Dating, Paul, because I was absolutely lagging for most of it. But I do remember our chats and I do remember connecting with you immediately. You know that. And then I obviously come back and did half another season as well. I loved you from the minute I met you. It's probably a mixture of things. I don't know, but we had really good energy, didn't we? We had a laugh.
We did. We did. You introduced me to. We went to a pie and mash shop
Yeah.
with your grandmother
Pie and mash, yeah, I remember. Yeah, in Essex.
in Essex.
Yeah, it wasn't a proper pie shop. It was done for the day.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did you ever eat it again, Paul?
No.
You didn't.
No. It was. What was it? The thing? Oh, the jellied eels.
I feel like you liked it a little bit though. You didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. It was just the eels.
Yeah, no, I don't even like them. Not everybody like that's a really old school thing. That's a Linda Sims thing. She loves that, but she's nearly 90.
Okay.
They probably didn't have a lot of options back then in East London. You know,
That was all you had.
brokers' tits. They just got the leftovers.
All right. So then this leads us to you growing up.
Yeah.
Okay. So where exactly did you grow up?
Oh my God, everywhere.
Really?
Yeah. So I was born in Newbury Park.
Is that Essex or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes under Essex.
Okay.
It's in a weird part because some people from that little borough, I guess, will say they're from London, but they're not. But it's also not really Essex. It's right on the cusp. It's like near Ilford.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
See, closer in.
It's a funny little spot. It's like no man's land, I would say. But anyway, I was born in there, in King George's Hospital. And then I stayed around Essex basically, but I moved around quite a lot. I think by the time I was 5, I'd probably moved about 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, and that kind of pattern continued.
What caused all the moving?
Well, I mean, I was born with really young parents. So the initial start, yeah, it was because of that. And then obviously it's public knowledge that I don't know my birth mum. So obviously me and my dad moved around a little bit. But yeah, that's mostly what caused that. And then we moved out to East London because it was cheaper to get property there.
Okay.
Stayed there for a little while my dad built himself up, and then we moved back to Essex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we explore your parents a bit?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay. As much you tell me
Yeah.
where you want to stop. Is that so? Your parents, you had young parents.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly how old they were when?
Well, my dad is exactly 20 years older than me. That's how I always know how old he is because I just had 20 years on.
Oh, okay.
And my birth mum was 19
Was
when I was
19.
born. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I look at a lot of single parents,
Yeah.
typically it is the woman, or should I say the wife, who keeps the kids, takes the kids.
Yeah.
In your case, it was your father
Yeah.
that kept you.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
To be honest with you, I don't really know too much about it. All I know is that she left. So I think from what I know, her mum left her and then she left me. So I think it might have been a pattern. She was 19, which we both know is extremely young. And I've had opportunities to connect with this woman, but I've chose not to. And I don't regret it. I chose not to at 18. I chose not to in my 30s. And I did wonder when I got older, like later in life, would I regret this decision? But I've got to 34 and I still don't regret it. I don't know what there would be to know. I know you more than I know my mum.
You know your mom.
So for me, it's almost like I just haven't got one and that's it.
So a characteristic, though, that I know about you, that I personally know about you, is you are motherly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not
Yeah.
like, I mean, it like you're motherly.
Yeah.
And when I think about motherly, someone who's very supportive,
Yeah.
that hard and soft, you know,
Yeah.
when I met you, you were talking about your daughter,
Yeah, Madison.
Madison, and
Yeah.
and she is, I know she is your heart.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about why, and I understand many people who don't, but why you chose not to explore who she was at all.
I think I only grew up with my dad's side of the family. So it's not just, I don't know my mum. I don't know anybody from her side.
Okay, no.
Never have done. I did know her dad when I was little and I vaguely remember him and I know that he was a good person. But other than that, I don't know anybody. So I feel like, well, she reached out when I was 30. I was already on TV by then. And the message that was sent to me, it wasn't a thought out. It wasn't, I've not tried to contact you for 30 years. It was like broken English. But it didn't make me want to respond, honestly. It wasn't anything bad. She was just reaching out. But I just thought, you're 30 years too late, hon. Like, with all due respect, what could we possibly talk about now? She's a complete stranger. Like, I don't really know what's the point. And when I was a little girl, I used to watch this show. It had Cilla Black on it.
Okay.
And she used to find long lost relatives.
Yes.
I can't remember what it was called. It weren't Surprise, Surprise. It was another one. But anyway, I loved Cilla when I was younger. Do you know Cilla?
Yeah, I know of her. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the name of the show.
She had a show and it was popular and it was on like maybe on a Sunday and she would reunite family members. And I did, as a little girl, used to watch it and think, what would that be like? But as I got older, I don't know. I just have no feeling about it. I'm numb. There's nothing. Like, I don't. And also, I think becoming a mum and I was a young mum too, not as young as her, but I was young.
Yes.
Especially for nowadays. Like, I was 23 when she was born. I was 22 when I got pregnant.
Okay.
Like, I can't imagine doing that to Madison under any circumstances. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I just don't think that we can. I haven't got anything to say about it.
Okay. Fair.
You know,
That's fair.
I can't even. It's hard for me to even call it that. My birth mum.
Yes.
Because I had all these other great people. You know.
Yes.
And I had therapy once, and one of the things that stuck in my head was he said that the mum and the dad, for example, whoever it is you got an issue with, like, just because I feel like they were meant to give me something, some kind of love, some kind of whatever it is, like, even if they don't, other people step in and you get it from elsewhere. He didn't say it like this. He said it way better. I'm butchering it.
But
you know what I mean?
What you're saying is facts. When we are young, we're looking for safety.
Mm-hmm.
That safety we think is going to come from our parents.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always come from our parents.
Yeah.
It could come from a grandmother, could come from a neighbor. But we're all seeking that safety from someone. Mm-hmm. And then we attach on to those people that we feel safe with. Mm-hmm. So what I feel like you've just described are all of these people in your life that you felt safe with. Mm-hmm. And the beauty to me is you felt safe with many people. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just one or two.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah.
That's been like I've always attracted older women in that way. And then as I got a bit older, I started to get a bit like, stop trying to mother me. Do you know what I mean? Like, not in an ungrateful way, but I did start to feel like I kept attracting these women and they were trying to take that role. And obviously I've been independent since I was 17. So sometimes I can get a little bit.
Yes.
I don't know, because you're probably going to know. I feel like you're doing that psychological stuff to me again. But
No, we're just having a conversation.
But I don't know, like, what this sounds like. It just comes out my mouth and then I hope it just like lands how I mean it. But I sometimes can get a little bit like, can everyone back up a little bit? Do you know what I mean?
How did then going to the school in Essex, because that's a very informative time in the life of a young person.
Yeah.
I see that's where we're trying to figure out what's our identity.
Yeah.
How did that, do you believe, shape who you've become today?
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to have seen who I would have become if I'd have stayed in my East London school, because there I was confident and I didn't feel ugly in that school or weird. I didn't feel like anything. I just felt like me. I felt confident. But when I went to Essex, then I didn't fit in, like you said. And then I had to try and I had to make these new friends. I didn't really like them. I didn't have anything in common with them.
Wow.
They were like so the girl that I made best friends with, her name's Helen. She's still my good friend now from 13. And I'd get bullied for my looks and she was really popular for her looks, but we were best friends. Isn't that weird?
That is.
I went through a tough period from moving to that school in Essex, because although I eventually did start matching up to the uniform, Essex vibes, I still wasn't accepted because it was that first impression, you know? And like they used to call me names and write stuff in my book. And like I think I probably have got learning difficulties, but I never really done any tests. Do you know what I mean? I've come this far. Do I really need to know if I've got whatever it is everyone's got now? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But back then I know that I probably did, because I used to really struggle in the classroom, especially if I had to speak in front of everyone. Imagine I'm getting bullied, getting called ugly, and then I've got to stand up and get all my words wrong. It was a lot, you
It
know?
must have been hard. And
Yeah,
when you said you were at the East London school,
I didn't have that.
you didn't have that. You felt comfortable, you felt safe, but then you said you didn't feel ugly.
Yeah, I felt confident because everyone used to tell me I was pretty there, you know?
But then in Essex, did you feel ugly?
Yeah, I did think I didn't feel pretty.
How do you believe that experience? Because it seems like that was inflection point in your life. It was big for you. How do you think that shapes who sits in front of me today?
Yeah, it definitely knocked my confidence and made me insecure, I guess, to a point in my life, because eventually I grew up and snapped out of it, obviously.
Yes.
But I think that and then TOWIE, you could class TOWIE as a lot of bullying from the press and the public. It was like similar vibes. I think them two together wasn't helpful.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and then fighting. Like I didn't really want to get into fights, to be honest with you. And my dad didn't bring me up to fight, believe it or not. But I would have a lot of like, you know, like I can't remember because I don't want to like I can't remember the exact words, but people would get a bit flash sometimes, you know, like, and then I'd have to stand my ground, and then it would go all around the school that so and so is going to beat me up on the way home, and then the whole school would follow you. Imagine, like, behind me, and I was for
Right.
sake, and then I'd get into a fight because I have to. I didn't have any choice, so it was that kind of thing, you know, like I don't know. I've constantly wanted to do things like that.
Yeah. You said, believe it or not, like that your father didn't bring you up to fight. That's because your father was a boxer, wasn't
Yeah.
he? And then he was a trainer, then became a boxing
He
trainer.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't like I don't know, in the 80s it weren't really the thing to teach girls how to box. Like it weren't really a thing. So like I was a bit scrappy, you know.
Yes.
Like I didn't get beat up, put it that way. But I prefer not to have done that. Because then I used to get grounded when I used to get home. I used to go back with a black eye and then be grounded. Yeah, so it was tough.
Even if you won the fight, I would thought if you won the fight,
I didn't win, but I didn't go
didn't-
down, Paul. Goodness gracious.
I thought you won every fight. I thought you're undefeated out here, Chloe.
I verbally can.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Where do you think that came from? You have a very quick tongue. You're very quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think that probably the people that I spent time with, probably the men, you know, you said about the male influence in my life, like I did have that also. So I think probably that alpha part of my personality probably did come from that, and the banter. You know, my family are from East London, so the majority of communication is taking the piss, nicknames, you know, like just digging people out in a funny way. So I think that probably is part of it. But yeah, I actually don't know.
Fair. That's fair. Can I show you something? I have lots of surprises for you, Chloe.
Oh, okay.
Can I show you this? I want you to take a look at this photo and tell me what is happening in this particular photo.
Okay. Right. So that's me and Joey at my nanny Linda's. I was about 17 in this photo.
Okay.
And I had my confidence at this point. This was the Essex vibes.
Okay. So confidence has come.
Yeah, because I started doing my hair, wearing fake tan, wearing makeup, the Essex style. And this was a fake Versace top that I got from Tenerife. Yeah, and I loved that top, and that's Joey.
And that's
We were around Linda's.
okay.
Linda's, my nanny Linda, who you've met.
Yes, I
Yeah.
sure have. Had eel and everything with her.
That's it, yeah. And I would have been there today if I wasn't with you, because I go around there every Wednesday when I'm in England, and we have bagels.
Okay.
Yeah, with Maddie. But yeah, so that's that.
What's that? Okay, so now the reason why I wanted to show you this photo,
Yeah.
which I didn't know that was a fake Versace top, but anyway.
Yeah.
But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because that was, you mentioned Joey's mother,
Yeah, Tina.
Tina, and how close you were to Joey's mother. I
Yeah.
think Joey was 9 in
Mhm.
that. And then Joey's mother passed away.
Mhm.
So how did her passing impact you?
Right. Well, obviously massively. I was very close to Tina. And I was only 21. So it was the first time I'd lost anybody, put it that way. I'd never been to a funeral or had anybody close to me passed away. So that was the first thing. And also it was just a shock, because she was younger than what I am now. And she was a woman that I looked up to, as a motherly figure.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a massive thing that happened. And obviously she left behind Joey and Frankie, and we were all super close at the time. So yeah, it was a big deal. Hmm.
Did you then take on a different role with Joey and Frankie?
Yeah, I did. I actually moved home immediately. At the time, I was living in Epping in Essex,
Okay.
and they were living in Chigwell. And me and my partner at the time, Maddie's dad, we didn't have nothing, like we just had like our normal jobs, whatever. And we moved apartments to be one street away from them. Um, then this, when I say apartment, I don't know, it wasn't an apartment, it was this place. It had no heating, like it was
Really?
freezing, like damp. It had flipping mold on the windows, but we was like one street away. And then the spare room, manage your expectations, but we tried to make it nice for them, so they could come. Joey did used to come, but he was more with his dad. He was a lot younger, but Frankie, yeah, she come a lot. And she would then, from then on, in all of my homes, she would always be there with me and Maddie's dad a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So when when someone passes, a family member, a friend, and I distinctly remember the first few people who passed in my life,
Yeah.
and it's shocking.
Hmm.
It is soul destroying. One thing that I see that it definitely changes a family.
It does. Yeah.
Some people actually step back and step away.
Hmm.
Others step up.
Hmm.
And what I find interesting is you stepped up. You were very young,
Hmm.
and you stepped up and you took over responsibility.
Yeah.
What do you think it was within you to step up opposed to step back?
Um, I actually don't know. And I remember, to be honest with you, it was such a shock that it was such a blow that I don't even think I knew what I was doing, and you can't even like get your head around what's just happened,
Yes.
and it was all a lot. Um, and we just went in flip mode. Like I was like, I've got to be near them, and I was very close to them. You've got to like imagine like super close. Like I grew up with them too, with Joey and Frankie. We grew up together, so like I felt, I don't know, I had to be with her. And then we went through like the teenage stuff, like her nicking my cigarettes, and I remember being really shocked that she would steal my cigarettes. Like, and then I was like, oh yeah, because it was kind of like a, not that I felt like the grown up, but it kind of was a little bit, like that. I was taking on that adulty kind of role, and then I would like drive past her at the bus stop. She'd have my new trainers on, and I'd flip out, like, and then try not to. But yeah, it was weird, and my memory's patchy. I feel like things that have been real tragedies,
Yes.
really patchy in my mind now, because there's been lots of other things that's gone on that have been big events in my life, I guess,
Yes.
since then. So it's really hard to remember all of it. But from the vague memories that I have, she was with me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all of my places.
So to what you're saying is something that I would go through a lot, is if there was something traumatic especially when I was a child, I would try to think back and I couldn't think of it. And I was reading about how what our brain does is when something severely tragic happens to us,
Mm-hmm.
opposed to thinking about you're watching a film,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's how we're probably seeing each other right now. It's a film.
Mm-hmm.
But when something severely tragic happens, it no longer is a film. It's like Polaroid photos.
Yeah.
But every maybe 30, 40 minutes. So you're missing a lot of the in-between.
Yeah.
It's just bits of information. And that is literally your body, your brain trying to protect you
Yeah.
because of how painful that experience was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But you stepped in, though. You didn't step away. You stepped
No.
in, you moved closer, and you started to really care for Joey and Frankie.
Yeah.
All right. So one more thing on childhood, though, that
Go on.
I have to go back to is you regained your confidence
Mm-hmm.
because you went from a place of East London, confident, Essex, first few years, not confident. I'll show you that photo. Boom. You said your confidence is there.
Yeah, because I'd left school by then, you know. And then what happened was when I was at that school, so let's take it back to the 90s, no internet. We just had the magazines, the weekly magazines, right? And we had our popular ones here. And I used to look at the models and I used to think, oh my God, like I used to pin everything on being a model because I think I'd love to be a model. Imagine if I was a model, then everyone would think I was pretty. You know, like that must have been my thought pattern. I just really wanted to be a model in the magazines.
Okay.
And they used to run these competitions where you could enter. And I used to ask, can I enter? And it was always like, no, because modeling had like quite a bad rap back in the 90s. Like had a bad reputation, you know. And I always used to get told no. And then one day, my dad called me into the front room and said, they're doing a modelling competition in the local paper, which was the Romford Recorder.
Okay. I mean,
And he was like, you should enter. And I was thinking, in the bipolar, I've been asking for ages. And he was like, go on, you can enter. So anyway, my nan took me. And it was funny enough, it was in Newbury Park.
Oh, was
I've
it?
been back there since I was born there, but we went back there. And it was in this little tiny studio, and they took the photos back then, a professional photographer, to enter you into the competition.
Okay.
So anyway, I goes along, and obviously I didn't look anything like how a model should look. I'd done a full glam, full ringlets, you know, like I'd done the most.
Yes.
Fake tan. And the photographer must have seen something in me because he was like, do you know what? You should actually join to an agency. And like, imagine I've been bullied for being ugly all this time. I thought I was ugly.
Yes.
And now this other person outside of that school is saying, you should pursue this, right? Anyway, I did the competition. It was a local competition. And like, I don't think I won or anything, but the photographer contacted me again and said, can we use your photos for whatever it was? And would you like to come in for another shoot?
Really?
And then he introduced me to an agency. So like, I think that, you know, and I was on the front cover. They used my photo. I've still got it, this picture. I've got the actual paper. And yeah, I think that, I was like, maybe I'm not that ugly.
But you didn't feel it until you were told by others.
No, I didn't.
So then you were still at that age struggling with insecurities.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you would say that you were most insecure about what in that time period?
I think probably everything. Yeah. I was insecure about obviously the way I looked, but I think everything, who I was, who I was going to be, you know, like, especially with men, like the relationships that I used to go after were ones that I couldn't really have, you know. It was like always men that were like unavailable, even from quite young. So I was just like, and also not being financially safe or secure, just a lot for that age.
Right.
I was paying rent from 17. I had big responsibilities.
So then there's a moment that you said that really changes everything for you, and that was meeting Simon Webb's PA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like fast forward from that moment, yeah. I've had Maddie. I've decided to leave my relationship.
Okay.
Broke off the engagement, sold the house, got my own place with Maddie.
I have to. Well, okay. There's a million questions, and I'm noting in my mind all these
It
places
must
to
be a
come back
painful
to.
story.
No, this is really good because I definitely want to talk about Maddie properly. So you've broken up.
Broken up.
You left the house. You have Maddie.
Me and Maddie are good.
Are you? Because you were a Playboy bunny as well.
Yeah, but not yet. That
Oh,
was
not
later.
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So so you're working
Yeah,
makeup.
driving. I passed my test. Started going to the gym, and at the time, there was a football club that used to train there. Had all the footballers hitting on me. The confidence is growing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got my body in check.
Okay.
So I was like feeling very confident now. Maddie and I, brilliant. Everything's perfect. Then I meet a guy. Absolutely took the stuffing out of me. And that's when I started to go out and start partying and things like that. And that's, although I don't regret, I just wish that I would have been a bit more of a calmer mum, like more of a stay-at-home mum. I could have given her that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, can anyone say they've been a perfect parent?
No.
I can't claim that. I can't
No.
sit here and let you paint me out to be that because I don't think that's true.
You know what's so
But I've been a
interesting?
ride or die parent.
Yes, you have. But you know what's so interesting? And this, to me, is hitting me for the first time is when I said, do you have any regrets on your parenting? You were very quick to say yes, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to say, do you have any regrets in life? I don't know if you'd be that quick to go back and say yes. Because, and I think the same way. I think, you know what, everything was a lesson. All the hard times helped me to learn A, B, C. But as a parent, I do have regrets,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm with you. I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. So you meet this guy, you enter what we would call a toxic relationship.
That's the word.
Okay, so it's a toxic relationship. You start partying for the first time. You're going out, smoking,
Started
drinking,
hitting the clubs with my new bod,
new bod, you're
getting all the attention.
getting all the attention, but you're also with someone at the same time.
Well, on and off,
Okay,
because he was like an in and out kind of person.
okay.
He done a number on me so hard that then basically it led me to become famous in a way because I met him and my new friend the same night. Simon Webb's PA and that guy, I met them on exactly the same night and they both changed my life. Not necessarily for the best, but they did. So Ellie, my friend, she was Simon Webb's PA, which was also super weird. And then I was like, oh my God, that's so weird. He stopped me when I was younger, blah, 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 blah. He lived around the corner from me at the time.
Okay.
Like literally a street away from each other. She was from Manchester, and she was new in Essex. So we started going out. I was freshly single. She was obsessed with Maddie. So she'd always want to come around and see Maddie. Maddie was like really tiny then, you know. And so then we started going out and she was very on the scene. Like she knew everyone, what club, this, that, contacts. I didn't know anything, you know. So then I started going out with her on weekends and she'd be coming and hanging out with me and Maddie in the week here and there. We're still best friends to this day, me and this girl. But unfortunately, I met that guy as well, which was really good for the first few months until it weren't. And then things went downhill.
Yeah. This is the classic love bombing story.
Yeah, it really, like, I really just didn't need to meet him. I feel like things would have just been so much better if I hadn't have, but I did. And I just wasn't, I think that whole first part of my life, I wasn't equipped for that.
Yeah.
All the trauma come out then, all of it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was when I was only like, I think I was 26 and I joined TOWIE at 29, right in the peak of my,
I see it. So how much are you open to discussing about that guy?
well, I can't talk about him in great detail, but it was like pretty messy.
It was messy.
Yeah, it was messy.
What?
It just basically, it's like I was like really doing well, like a steam train. I was like powering through, and he just derailed me. And to say that I don't think I recovered really until about a year ago, 2 years ago. Like I feel like that's how long it damaged me mentally. And I feel sometimes, am I pinning all the trauma on him? Like all of my life, did I just pin that on him, or did he just really do a number on and off over the years? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably have to have a lot of psychological tests. But he stayed in and out, in and out, in and out. And I felt like I couldn't really commit to any other relationships because I was always thinking that, because he'd always come back, you know? And then eventually, I don't know, I just woke up and snapped out of it. But I had hit my 40s by then.
I see. So this is ongoing.
Yeah.
do you feel as if in the relationship with him, you were manipulated?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a relationship. It was like an on-off.
It was on and
It
off.
could have like a year where we wouldn't see or talk to each other, and then somehow I would make fantasize it, or no, not fantasize it. What's the word? Like I would make it. Oh, it's fate. Oh, it's
Okay.
gonna work
Oh, it's
this
gonna,
time.
yes, yes.
Romanticize it.
Romanticize it.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that I'm finding really interesting about partners, because it's not always men. Women do this as well, but those that are really good with manipulation, but also coercion, right?
Right.
Because what ends up happening with love bombing, and love bombing is such a popular term, but I don't think that we fully understand what is happening with love bombing, right? So love bombing is a fast track of attachment. It is someone showering you with words and gifts and accolades, etc., so that you believe that you are closer faster. And the reason why they do this, and they don't even internalize, they don't even understand why they're doing it, but they do it to hide the manipulation or the abuse.
That was him to an absolute T.
Yeah.
Like I was in a bougie nightclub, minding my business. I was having a fun time. He was there. He met me. I weren't interested.
You weren't?
I just
Okay.
brushed him off, weren't interested. I was leaving the club. I got to the top of the stairs. He was there. And he's like, "Where are you going? Do you want to come to an after party?" He went, "Bip, bip." And he clicked a brand new car, but a car that was like so wildly out of reach.
Yeah.
He wanted to show me the car. And even I was a bit took back because I was like, he was young. I was thinking, like, who is this guy? Straight away, I'm now, my mind's triggered. Like, who is this?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? We go to the after party, then the love bombing. He did the gifts, the words, the constant phone calls, like very quickly asking me to be his princess, which translated to girlfriend. And I was like, obviously trying to play it cool, but I was like, whoa,
Right.
you know, this must have been why I left Matthew, because I was going to meet this guy. So like that was it. And I just wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally prepared for the real world at this point. I'm sure I would have mentioned him to you on one of the Celebs Go Dating, because he was constantly,
In the thing.
he was
Yeah.
there. Yeah. But I can honestly say that recently, I'd say since I moved to America, I really snapped out of
Then
that.
you were snapped out.
He did the classic love bombing and then retracting. I'd do one little thing, wouldn't hear from him for 5 days. I'd go completely insane. Right. And in the end, even though I knew I hadn't done nothing wrong, I'd be sorry, because I just anything to just get him to come back.
Yes.
That's what he started doing. And this went on for a really long time. Right. It took me over a decade to realize that he hasn't changed.
Right.
I don't know. And I think I had to grow up. You know, I do genuinely think that I'm really immature for my age. I do think that.
Even to this day.
Yeah, I'm young at heart. And I think that it took me so long to mature, you know, like, and be able to look at the situation and think, hang on a minute, he hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. He's actually worse, you know?
Yes.
And I deserve way better than this. Like, I know it's so cringy to say that, because, you know, you've got all this social media, I deserve. But I do deserve better than that. And I would be an amazing wife, you know? So, like, yeah, it took me ages to snap out of that.
And Chloe, that's your self-worth
Yeah.
building back up. Because I think I would argue that you were already mature, but you now recognize what you bring to the table, what you bring to the world. You know what your worth is.
Yeah.
And you now know that there's a certain level that you won't accept anything below.
Oh, no, I know. But now I might have took that too far, Paul.
Oh, yeah. It's way up.
We've done 2 dating shows together. And now it's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've took it like so.
To the next
They
level.
do say that the older you get, the more, the list gets longer.
Yeah, but then it goes down. So when my wife and I had our matchmaking agency,
Yeah.
this is what would happen. This was the funniest thing, right? Is that we would have clients that were maybe 25 and they'd have a few things on their list. And then as they get up to about mid-40s, they would have 150 items on their list. And then you know what happens? after about mid-40s.
What? Don't tell me.
It drops all the way down.
Oh, no.
And by 60, you know what you're going to be asking? Can he walk up steps?
Yeah, has he got any hair?
Like, does he have any hair? This is what?
No, Paul, I need you to help me out. Please tell me you've still got your contacts in New York.
Oh, yeah, in New
You
York.
see these dating apps?
Yes.
I know I'm going off your subject, but I can't help it. When I went to LA, I joined a couple of dating apps because no one knows me there.
This is true.
I can be whoever I am
That's true.
there.
That's
So I did it. I went on 3 dates. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
They're insane. And also, I don't go for looks. Like, I can appreciate good looks,
What
but
do
I
you go
don't
for?
go for looks.
What-
I'll go for the feeling. No, it's the Bluetooth, it's the magic. I can't tell through an app. They're all awful. They're awful in my age group.
I have thoughts. I do. That are non-dating app thoughts. But overall,
Dating apps don't work for me.
Yeah.
They're not working. I'm looking and I'm like, no, I can. If me and you sat together,
yes.
you'd be horrified because the things I pick out about people is really bad.
Yeah, I think that would be hard for you. I think meeting through mutual friends, but outside of the UK, is for you.
It's
So
gotta
you
be
you,
in
you
New
need
York.
you need introductions in New York, or
I really
it
do.
could be anywhere. But we're going to get to guys. Can anyone tell me why roaming fees are always so expensive? I feel like every time I get back from traveling overseas, I'm hit with a jaw-dropping phone bill. It's actually why I'm excited to try our new partner, Saily, an eSIM app that gives you a safe and secure data connection anytime you travel, and most importantly, without any expensive roaming charges. Now, quite a few of my team used Saily during our last trip to LA, and all accounts were that it was reliable and easy to set up. Saily is available in over 200 destinations, and it comes with built-in security features like web protection and ad blockers. The stuff you don't typically think about, but actually, when you're traveling, is really important to keep your data protected. But the part that really pulls me in is that I can change my online location to the UK. So even if I'm somewhere else, any location-blocked content is still accessible. To give it a try, download Saily from the App Store or scan the QR code on the screen. And if you want 15% off your first purchase, make sure you use my code WNTT at checkout. Details are in the episode description. You said that it was that same night, though, you met the PA, Ellie, who's now your good friend. But so how did she then
Oh, right. Yeah.
change? Yeah, how did she change?
So we become friends, and then she ended up moving in with me.
Yeah.
I had a, it was like a 2-bedroom house, but it had 2 reception rooms. So we turned one of the reception rooms into a bedroom, and then she could split the rent with me, and she also helped me with Maddie, you know? So, and she was like, we were really like close, and like we still are really, really close. So anyway, she's ended up living with me. She's working for Simon. She's overhearing stuff. One day she come back and she's like, listen, you know that show you like, The Hills, they're making an Essex one, and Simon and his then girlfriend are going on it. And she was like, I've got the number, you need to ring them. And that, honestly, to me, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not ringing them. Do you know what I mean? What, are you insane? I'm going to just ring a producer. Like, that sounded crazy. Like, so she rang on her phone and just went like that. And I remember I was in my kitchen and I was like scared, you know? I was like, hello? And anyway, it was the producer. She was from Liverpool. She had a Scouse accent. And she was like, we'd love to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I went and met them, had a drink. Obviously, they were interested. Back then, they didn't have a channel. It was like a pipe dream. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so the show had not started.
No, they didn't even have a channel at that point. It was just a concept.
Okay.
And they were like casting, I guess. Maybe, I don't know what they were doing. I didn't know TV back then. So anyway, that was that. I was like flattered that they liked me. And they said, from now on, can you keep like a weekly diary and send it to us of what you get up to throughout the week? So I was like, all right then. I was doing my Playboy job, so obviously that's quite interesting. I was going to France. It was French Playboy, which is a franchise.
Okay. And so is it a club for French Playboys?
No, it was basically, I don't know what you would call it, a promotional
Ah, kind of like, okay. I see.
thing. So clubs would book us. So they had like they had the right to use the Playboy stuff. They had the Playboy car, the Playboy merch, and then the Playboy out costumes, I guess. And they'd have 4 bunnies, and we would be booked to go all round France,
Oh my
Switzerland.
goodness.
So
Okay.
like I partied in like the VIP club in Saint Tropez. I used to do go-go dancing in there. Sometimes we'd be on a beach party. Whoever booked you, it could be a casino in Cannes, you know, and it weren't just nice bougie places. It was far out, weird places too, like in the middle of nowhere in the sticks in France. France is massive.
Yes. Yes.
And like also the people in France, especially in them deep places, they're not like in Paris. They're like really just not like what looking like a Playboy bunny. So when we come stalking in, you know, like all tall with our little bodies hanging out, they were like, whoa, you know?
Was that just in that experience? Because I remember seeing images of my aunt as a Playboy bunny, because I didn't even know she was. Like, it was one of these, secrets that I didn't know about. And then all of a sudden I saw these photos and it was like, oh my God, that's you out there.
Yeah.
And I remember her saying that she learned a lot about just people,
Right.
and men and how people interact. What would you say that you learned being a Playboy bunny?
Well, I don't know, because that was like when I used to like drinking. So I was just a bit crazy and drunk. And we were treated like celebrities. And people that followed that Playboy France would follow us around to different venues.
They would.
Yeah, so like we would stand, there would be a moment where people could have a photo in front of the step board or whatever it is. And they'd be like, do you remember me? And like, they'd be going, look, and they'd had a photo with you a couple of weeks ago or a month ago. It was a bit like you was treated like a celebrity.
Interesting.
And I was like, obviously totally here for that, because I was like, yeah, I was here for it. Like walking in the club with security, table roped off, Playboy tour car, flights. I was catching the flights that I didn't think I'd be getting.
Yes.
Every week I was on a plane. So I felt pretty bougie and like,
So you
yeah.
enjoyed it,
I liked it.
but you were partying though.
I was getting drunk.
Yeah.
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 Because it was the weekend as well. So I worked and partied and got paid. And then I'd Monday to Friday go back to being my mum.
Okay. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
So that's part of your weekly schedule. So those producers for TOWIE, which for the 5 people who don't know, The Only Way Is Essex.
Yeah.
Right. So those producers and the show had not yet hit air, as you said.
No.
They must have loved that schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they wanted me to leave.
Stop being a Playboy bunny.
Yeah. Basically, by the time they got a channel, they met up with me again and they was like, we can't tell you what channel it is, but it's a really good one. But you're going to have to leave your job and we're not going to pay you. And I was like, are you mental? Do you know how good my job is? Other than TOWIE, as a single broke mum, being a Playboy bunny was actually amazing. Imagine my Facebook pictures, like what? I was like, you're mad. I'm not doing that. And then also, just to add insult, at the time, Big Brother was on and people were coming out of there really hated. Like, really like to the point where people were like sending death threats and shit. And I knew that my personality is Marmite. Like, I knew that there's a good chance that I could be loved or hated. And I remember laying in bed and looking at Maddie and thinking, is this the right thing to do? Like, is this right for her? She was like so little and innocent. And I was like, I just wasn't sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying going to France every weekend and getting drunk was great either, but was it good to put myself out there like that? What if I wasn't received well?
Yes.
So I was scared all round. Plus, I just weren't going to leave my job. Absolutely not.
Wow.
So I didn't do it. I turned it down.
Turn it down.
Yeah. And the producer at the time, she only did that season, which makes me a bit sad because I didn't get to work with her. She moved to Made in Chelsea. And she kept ringing me and she was like, but please let me just meet up with you. Please. Like, let me just have a chat with you. This could change your life. And I was like, no, I got on my high horse. And then I started getting freaked out because I was like, why are you so on my case to do this? I started getting the horrors a little bit, not thinking it's because she sees something in me. I started thinking she's trying to do me over in some way, So I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I turned it down.
You turned down meeting her.
Yeah.
So you had turned down the first series.
I turned it all down. I was like, leave me alone.
Okay.
And then I carried on doing Playboy Bunny. And then I remember going through Luton Airport, which is an absolute crap hole, by the way. And I went past the newsstand and all the magazines was TOWIE, every single one of them. And
So what do you do next?
so then a producer, I wouldn't be able to tell you who, contacted Simon's then girlfriend to get my phone number
Wow.
and said, can we get a number? So like, obviously I was like, yeah, of course. That went to Ellie and then it went to me. And I was like, yeah. And obviously I was like a bit taken back at what are they calling me for? And they said something along the lines of, we're contacting everybody that didn't do season 1 for whatever reason to see how you're feeling now. So I was like, obviously very keen to do it.
Yes.
And back then they were very strict on secrecy. You wasn't allowed to tell anybody. So I didn't tell anybody. I needed that chance so much at that point that I didn't tell a soul except for Ellie and my dad. That's it. Nobody knew, including Joey. Joey did the same to me.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Your
So
own cousin.
we didn't know.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't know about him. He didn't know about me until I was in one of the meetings and they were talking about my family, whatever. And I said, Joey, I must have said Joey Essex. I don't know what I would have been saying. And I remember the reaction of the producer's face. And he was like, your cousin's Joey Essex. But I was confused because Joey was a kid then. So I was thinking, how do they know Joey? You know, it didn't even cross my mind that he was being cast for the show.
Look at that.
And they was like, your cousins, like first cousins. And I was like, yeah. And that was it. The rest was history.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
So you had to quit Playboy.
Oh, I was well over it by then.
you were
Yeah,
done.
I was done with that. I was them bunny ears got thrown right out the
Oh,
window.
no. You threw away the bunny
I
ears.
was out, yeah.
All right. So you now land on TOWIE. So this is the second series.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't realize this, but you know this. You were the longest running cast member, the history of TOWIE. Do you know how many series you were on?
I'm gonna say 29.
Ding, 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 ding. 29
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
29.
And I was 29 when I joined. So it's a series every year. Yeah.
Gosh. Now think about that. So when you think about TOWIE, right, there's so much that we could talk about. But what immediately comes to mind? Because sometimes people reflect back at projects and they're uncomfortable with them. They don't want to be associated with them. Sometimes they're very appreciative of what they did. What's your perspective on your time with TOWIE?
When I think of TOWIE, like it's fond. It's fond memories. It was hard, Paul. Like I joined TV when there weren't a lot of rules and there weren't all this like, you know, like it was different TV times. Let's put it that way. There was allowed to be little rascals. But overall, I had a blast. I had 10 years of an absolute blast. Like there was a lot of highs and lows, don't get me wrong, but it completely changed my life overnight like that. And it had a lot of negativity. It was like a, you know, bit of a seesaw. But as far as like where I am today, I could never have got this without TOWIE. I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't even be sitting with you. We wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for that.
You said it changed your life like that.
Overnight.
Overnight. How so?
Well, I went on a TV show for 2 weeks, didn't tell a soul. I let it go out. Can you imagine what happened with my phone? I didn't have any social media. I only had Facebook, which I disabled because that was what advice I'd been given.
Okay.
And one of the other cast members, she made me a Twitter. I didn't even know what Twitter was. I didn't have it. She was like, you need Twitter. And she set it all up. And I remember my BlackBerry going ping, 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 ping. It was like crashing because it was so mental. This TV show just was so big.
Yes.
I had a very negative entrance, again, about my looks. Because now I took it too far. So now everyone was like, oh, look at her lips, look at her missing tooth. She's this, she's ugly, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I had all that negativity.
Interesting.
But that's not TOWIE's fault. They were just filming me how I was, you know. But like the press, yeah, they were terrible. is a way to describe them. They was allowed to talk about us in any which way they was allowed. It was like a given then. They used to call me like Car Crash Chloe and talk about my looks and like use really unflattering photos. But I didn't really give a shit. I was making all this money. I was getting chased by paps. Like me and Maddie were living, you know, like I was thinking I've done it. I've sorted me and Maddie out. Like we're good.
You were like, I've arrived.
Yeah. Next minute I had a brand new car, brand new out the showroom. Like that girl that was stood in the shop who didn't have anything, just paying her rent. Suddenly I had it all. I went off to LA, started taking Maddie on lovely holidays. And I thought, wow, like it's like a rags to riches overnight story.
Where does the money in the early time of TOWIE, where does the money come from? Because from what I understand is they weren't paying you.
No, they didn't pay in series 1. In series 2, they paid for your expenses,
Okay.
which was £50 every time you filmed, not per day. And at the time, we were filming like 6 days a week. But we was earning money from magazine interviews, appearances, and PAs. Lots of money.
I see.
Money that I hadn't had ever. So it's not lots of money compared to like what the Kardashians have got,
Right.
but a lot of money in comparison to what I had.
Yes. Yes. So I see. So as soon as the show hits the air, it starts coming in.
Yeah, like people wanted to do fake tans with me, clothing lines with me. Plus, you're getting given everything.
Yes.
So you're not even really spending as much money now. I didn't even really have to buy stuff. That stuff, tell a lie, that did come later. The first season, I did make money, but this is a true story. When I joined, I had my life savings, and it was £1,000. And I remember having to dip into that to get clothes originally because I needed the clothes to wear because obviously 6 days a week, I didn't have enough clothes for that.
Yes.
So yeah, I remember dipping into that, but then I started getting my deals and everything for free.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But even dip, I would imagine, because you'd been saving that for
That
life.
£1,000 was my lifeline. Like that was my nan always said, always have something put away for an emergency and don't spend it. And even if I borrowed something out of it, I'd always put it back, you know?
Okay. So, and you dipped in to buy, and some people would say you dipped in to buy clothes, but it seems like your plan was, no, when I show up on this show, I'm going to make sure that people see me.
Yeah, it was an investment. I was like, that was my life savings. And I lived above a clothes shop, and then facing it was another clothes shop. And I was going in there and buying the dresses. And then eventually they said, you ain't got to pay for them no more. Just do us a tweet. And I was like, okay. So I used to just run across there. So it did work out a good investment buying them few dresses because then they started giving them to me.
What would you say was the darkest moment for you when you think back throughout your entire time on TOWIE?
Oh, there was a lot of them. I don't like talking about all the negative stuff as much because I hate that woe me thing.
Yes.
And I honestly, when I watch other people do interviews like this or podcasts like this, and they're very like, I don't really need anyone to feel sorry for me kind of vibe, you know?
Yes.
But I will say it takes a certain person to last that long on a TV show like that because the dark side is the manipulation at filming, especially in them early days before rules and regulations come in. The press is really hard to read shit about yourself constantly. And as you probably know, social media, that was like just when they brought Instagram out, what a nightmare. Because then these people had direct contact. Direct. They could just DM you
Exactly.
and tell you whatever they want to tell you. And like there was some really like, I was getting slaughtered is the only word to describe it constantly because I was outspoken and I was involved in a lot of arguments, but I'm not naturally out here arguing with anybody, honestly. It become a thing. Like, you know, some of the producers quite well who I am
Yes.
close still to this day with.
Yes.
And it become a bit of a joke behind the scene because it was like, well, if you get into a big scene with Chloe Sims, you've made it. And it was like an ongoing thing. And haters would say that weren't the case, but it was.
Interesting.
And like the top producers used to make it into a joke. Well, you've made it now. Got your big scene with Chloe Sims. And then like jokingly, it would be like, is this the minute I'm going to let my crown slip? Am I going to lose this argument? that become a huge pressure to me, to the point where my mental health weren't great because I was so stressed out all the time. I was branded in a certain way, and I'm not upset about that as the ice queen, as you know. I'm not an ice queen. It's ridiculous.
Right. You're
I
not.
was always the ice queen on every show, and like I was argumentative and I was in the drama, but I don't row with people. Actually do the opposite. If someone pisses me off, I just don't talk to them. Silence. It's finished. Like it's gone.
Right.
You know, like if you take it too far where I've fallen out with you, that's it. So like I'm not in this argumentative state, but that's my pigeonhole. Like that's everyone had to have their moment, their scene with me.
Yes.
And that over a decade really, really affected me to the point where I felt like I couldn't even deliver it anymore. I was like really ill. Like, because I knew it was coming, that confrontational scene, but I didn't know when because they didn't tell you. So, like, I'd have sleepless nights. I could feel the anxiety in my chest now because I'd go to sleep thinking, right, well, they're going to say that, and then I'll have to say this, and I'd be thinking of my points because under pressure, and then people are watching me, a whole room full of people, cameras, and I've got to, you know, fire all my shots and not forget anything because it's so painful when you watch it back and you're like, I should have said that. She's owned me there, or he's got me over there. So like that pressure really, really mentally affected me. I was ill. I couldn't even get the words out. I used to shake. And I remember in the scenes towards the end, I'd put my hands behind my back, or I'd sit like this, like, because I wouldn't want them to see my hands were shaking. But it wasn't because I was frightened. It was the anxiety. It was overtaking my whole body at that point.
Yes. Yes.
It was awful.
What was the fear? Was the fear that if you lost the argument, someone had more points than you?
It was like a thing that I can't explain it, like a crown I was wearing, like the Queen of TOWIE. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like, and I guess it was like an ego thing, because what difference does it make whether I lose an argument, really? Do you know what I mean? Like, why is it even important? So what if I didn't win an argument? What was they even arguing about? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's right and who's wrong?
Who's wrong?
And time when I should have been sitting, this is what I mean about the parenting thing, when I should have been playing with Maddie and baking cakes and doing fun shit, I wasn't, because I was rehearsing a really unimportant argument that I was going to have on the next 3 days on TOWIE. And it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Really, I should have just laughed at them because I was already at the top. I didn't really need to prove myself to anyone new that come on, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, for me, this is, it feels pathetic to say it, but I feel like we're crying to each other on this. You're the first person I've been able to talk to about this. I feel as if I, quote unquote, lose one of those battles. And by the way, I'm undefeated out here on these streets.
I'm sure.
But I feel, okay, if I lose one, then that's like an etch in my armor.
Yeah.
And then 2 or 3, I no longer have value.
But I want to just say something to you, who's someone who's like stepped out of this for a minute. Like, it don't matter. And actually, who decides who did and didn't win the argument? Because, like, say me and you were having an argument right now, and I etched you, as you said. But that's all down to perspective, because how do you know that the people really think that? That's just me and you at the time would have thought that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because like with your poised exterior, you're already in a position of like the power in that show that we're talking about. You're already here. You're the expert. So it doesn't really matter what the person who's come on, because they're there to learn from you, right?
Yes.
So even if they disagree with you, it doesn't really matter because you're the expert still. You're still going to go home and be the expert.
Right.
And tomorrow you're still the expert, and so on.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time worrying about that, because I think British TV does that to you.
Yeah. It's brutal. It's one of those where sometimes I look at it and say, oh my God, how have I been able to survive for 8 years? And I mean,
It's survival
decade.
as well.
Yeah, it is survival.
It is a very, especially in that industry that I do, it is all about survival. It's a bit of like a dog eat dog thing, although I am grateful.
Yes.
Extremely.
Agreed.
You have to be a type of person, and I discovered that with other people along the way, you know, like that couldn't handle it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think my second scene was a busy Sugar Hut, which was a nightclub back then, and there was loads of extras in there. And I wasn't famous yet because series 2 hadn't even gone out yet. We did 2 weeks filming, and they made me walk from one end of the nightclub in front of everybody, all the cameras, all the way to the other end, and make conversation with Gemma Collins,
Oh, wow.
and I think it might have been Kirk and his late dad, Mick. And they didn't know me, I didn't know them, and I had to walk up to them by myself. They were already talking, and just get in there.
Right.
And I was like, what do you mean? Because nowadays, that's not how it works on TOWIE. They're all set up and like you sat where you sat in. Back then, it was so raw.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started talking, and that was it. And I remember the scene, and I was shaking. It was really scary.
So it was those moments again and again and again. You think that it was sink or swim.
Yeah, it was really sink or swim. Inside, I could have definitely done a runner. I didn't want to do it. I was scared. I was really, and I remember trying to control the shake in my voice and appear like I wasn't absolutely shaking inside, because I was. And that happened for lots of times. There would have been times on Celebs Go Dating when they done that to me, like when they made me come down the stairs and
Yes.
start talking to men. I was scared, and that's why I used to drink.
Can we talk about Celebs?
Yeah.
All right. So Celebs Go Dating was when we met. The year is 2018.
Right.
All right. This was my first series here in the UK. I thought I would be here for 3 months, and that
That's
was
mad.
it. And look at this.
Yeah.
And you did Celebs. Now, when you did Celebs, I didn't think you were someone who was insecure or someone who was in charge of your identity and your brand and who you were. You seemed to be ultra confident to me, very, very confident. And I looked around and I saw that everyone viewed you as that.
I wasn't, though. I
But you
didn't
weren't.
feel like that inside. I would have had a lot of times where I would have been nervous.
Well, one thing that must have helped you as well was Vass being on the show.
Yeah.
'Cause Vass was on there.
Oh, yeah.
Vass
of
was
course.
incredible.
Yeah, and Vass is like one of my biggest supporters, like as I am him, you know? So like, yeah, having Vass, and like, obviously, like once I'd done a couple of days filming, I connected with you as well. So I started to feel good because we had Olivia as well,
You
didn't
did.
we?
Olivia was on the show?
Yeah, so like I had like people around me like where I felt fine, but like, yeah, inside I wouldn't have been how you thought I was. Yeah.
But okay, so Celebs, but did you enjoy it? You must have enjoyed it because you came back.
I loved that show. I used to say, I think to Anthea, like, can't I just do this every time? I actually asked if I could be an expert on it at one point. She said, go and do a course and then maybe you can. And I didn't. And I would have loved to have been on there. I can't tell you how to get a husband, but I can tell you a lot of dating stuff.
Yes.
Because I have dated a lot of different types of people. I can give a lot of good dating advice.
What-
But I can't tell you how to close the deal. That's the problem.
Okay. What's your best dating advice?
Don't.
Don't.
Yeah.
Just don't date.
No, I'm joking. I mean, I don't actually, do I know? I feel like I'll be the good agony aunt person on there. But anyway, you know, you've got all the different experts who've got their different things. They can't do each other's jobs.
Yes.
Well, I feel like I'll be good at the agony aunt situation, and I can connect with anybody because I've been through a lot of different
You can.
things.
You
So I
can.
think I'll be good at
So
the
you think-
advice
you think-
bit.
you think-
I think I would, yeah.
So industry-wise, though, right? Do you think the industry would accept you in that?
No. Well, I'm not married, so how can I be a relationship expert?
How do you think the industry views you?
The industry won't let me be anything other than Chloe from TOWIE.
They won't.
I've got a show that I done the concept for. I produced it as an executive producer, and series 1, I basically edited that show alone. I picked every scene that went in there, and then we got it onto Netflix. When I say we, I mean me and my brother.
This
and
is-
still
Can I say this is
no one wants to talk about it.
this is House of Sims?
Yeah,
But I mean, but you got it on Netflix.
people don't want to, they do not want to mention that in this country.
Why?
It's like, I don't know. I don't know. This is why when I was saying to you, not just because of this, because there's lots of reasons why I prefer New York to London, but like, I feel like this is probably going to upset a lot of viewers who are English, but like, I feel like the British public, they like a sob story and they like to build you up, but just not too high, just to where they think you should be. And then they like to tear you down or watch you fall down. There's a cap. And like, I genuinely believe that I did peak around the time I met you here. Like I was at the top there in that part of my industry.
Okay.
And it was like, you're not going to go any further than that though. It's like, I feel like, and it's not just the general public, I feel like the industry, they didn't, the media, just they like me for who I am, but they don't want to see me do any more than that. That's how I feel.
So then did you feel that way this is 2018. Did you feel that way?
No, because I was like,
'Cause
I was in a good position, wasn't I?
yes.
But like after that, obviously I did the show again. How many times can I keep doing the same things? Like that whole single thing, like I wasn't really allowed to have a relationship, if we're honest, because that's how I used to book shows, because I was like desperately single or whatever they wanted me to be. But the truth is, I don't actually feel like that. I do want to meet somebody,
Yes.
but I want to meet somebody who I'm like absolutely head over heels in love with. Like I want to meet my person, you know? It isn't like I need him. I don't need somebody, Paul. I've been on my own for such a long time. I've got a child. We're a little team. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So like, yes, I would like to meet somebody, but them things I used to say on them dating shows, like I just want to get married and I didn't really give a crap. I just wanted to get paid. That's what I wanted to do.
Fair.
Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah. It's fair.
I can't say that I can't say that it's the be or end all if I do meet somebody. I would like to. I feel like I've got a bit of a fantasy with my husband being in New York. I genuinely think he's there. I feel like that's where my guy would be. He's not in London. He's definitely not in Essex. And he's not in California unless he's visiting.
Okay.
He's not.
But he's in New York.
I feel like he's in New York. When I'm there, the men are just different there.
Yeah.
You know?
And part of that, though, you have to admit to this, is that what we do psychologically is we assign a premium to what is different.
Right.
So
yeah. So you mean I'm putting them up higher?
Exactly, because they're different. Because quite honestly, I do the same thing when I'm in the UK.
Right.
You know, something that it's funny, something that I tell all of my friends. This is funny. I tell friends in New York. I was like, you've got to find a wife in the UK.
Really?
Oh, I was like, you've got to find like, they're incredible in the UK. Like, they're great. They're fun. And it's almost as if what I'm doing is exactly what you're doing. I am putting a premium on people in the UK because this is different to me. And also because we're both open-minded. If we were closed-minded, we would say, no, we're better than that. But we're open-minded, so we lean in and we say, no, the accent, the vibe, the everything we love. It's the same thing. Like that's what I love about here. But so that's what I think it is. But if I can ask, I have to ask you this though, is that you just said something key, and that was that a key part or an important part of your career was you always being single. This is the key. This is what people wanted to book Chloe Sims for. Do you believe that that brand impacted the relationships that you had off screen?
Maybe, maybe not. Because I did have an on and off thing all along. So I'll be on a date with someone and then I'll be in the car texting someone or someone else. So it wasn't all as it seemed. But what did used to piss me off, and that still pisses me off sometimes now, is the perception. I have to remind myself it doesn't really matter because I don't know these people. When they're like, oh, you're still single. Like when I'll post on like TikTok or something, they're a bit ruthless on that app. And they'll write things like, yeah, but you're still not married. On something that I'm celebrating. you know?
Right.
And I think, God, is that the only thing that will make me a success?
Yes.
And even like I've experienced living in Los Angeles now and I've got my own place there, I still have this thing inside of me where I've got more lives I want to live.
Yes.
Like I want to try my New York life and then I want to experience that. And I also sometimes think like, how amazing would it be to like live far out, you know, like in Joshua Tree and like have my own vegetables growing and have complete peace. Like, but never in all them times does it rely on a man. I'm never thinking, oh, wait, well, when I get a man, I'll be able to go and live in New York. I'm thinking, actually, I might rent my place out in LA and go and rent a place in New York. It's too expensive to buy there, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, why is my success leveled on whether I got a husband or not? Because I actually could have one, but unless I'm fully in love with that man to the point where I love every hair on his head, I'll be unhappy.
Yeah. You know, what you just said is gospel
Yeah.
because most people who do have a husband or a wife
Yeah.
are unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, 80%, like the research is very clear, 80% of people in committed relationships / marriage
Yeah.
are not satisfied.
Yeah.
So, so you'd rather be in a relationship and not satisfied, or single and satisfied?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, because you're married, obviously, and you used to advise me and tell me a little bit about marriage and stuff and that you work on your marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I know there's other people that I know are married that genuinely are unhappy, but they're like, for whatever the attached thing or financially or what people will think, whatever it is, like, I don't, luckily, thank God, I actually am not in that position. So like, I can choose to be in a relationship. And I haven't met someone good enough for me. I just haven't. He's not matching the energy, you know?
Yes.
I want to, the next guy that I even date, I'm not even dating. I don't talk to anybody. I've got no one texting me, nothing. The next person that I meet, it has to be a serious thing. Because otherwise, what's the point? You're just taking up my time,
Yeah.
you know?
But I think what's challenging, though, is that you don't know if it should be serious unless you spend time getting to know them.
But I'll have a
That's-
good feeling in my chest.
You think, Chloe,
I will.
you think off of just your feeling, you'll know whether or not.
I'm not going to know whether he's going to be the one, but I'll know like if I've got that immediate interest and attraction to that person.
Yes.
Like I went on one date while I was in New York off the app. It was a good date. I didn't stay in touch with him, but it was like I went on the date and it was just everything about the date was a really good date. And I thought, if this is what dating in New York looks like, then I think this is a really good place to start. He was a gentleman. He wasn't flexing. He was educated. Showed interest in my career and like what I do. And like, I don't know, like we just had a really good conversation. And then when it come to the end of the day, he dropped me off in a yellow cab. I love that.
You love.
Real gentleman,
Yes.
you know, nothing like people that I've dated here, like doing all that showing off business. And, you know, I'm not into any of that.
You're not. Okay. Fair. One last topic, menopause.
Oh my God, yeah.
Did you know much about menopause, perimenopause before
I feel like they,
recently?
yeah. Do you feel like they've just invented perimenopause? Because that come out of nowhere.
It feels, I mean, for me, I knew nothing about it until recently.
Same.
Yes.
I didn't know perimenopause was a thing until I started having perimenopause, honestly. I didn't really know the difference and I didn't really pay much attention because, like, until you get to a certain age, why would you? And actually, I think I'm quite late to the party at 44 because some people can get it late 30s, early 40s. They say from 40-ish, don't they?
Yes.
So I feel like I'm actually quite late to this party. And I kind of forgotten about it, you know, like weren't really expecting it. So when I did start experiencing symptoms was just really recently. So then it overtakes your whole mind because I was like, shit, this is it, you know, and I really did panic because I had like a couple of weeks of like the hormones. And then I'd done the obvious thing, which is pointless, when I got all the blood tests in a panic and went on ChatGPT and like put all my symptoms in. and it clarified that I've got early signs of perimenopause. And I actually did think, shit, is this my life now? Like the feelings that I was having,
Yes.
is this what my life is going to look like? But luckily, at the moment, I can say that I'm in and out. Each month's not the same.
Okay.
So it's not like 2 weeks of absolute hell every month.
And I was going to say, what are the feelings? But also, let me just define it for everyone. So perimenopause is the transitional phase leading to menopause, where the symptoms start, and then menopause is natural permanent end of menstruation and fertility. Women in perimenopause are about 40% more likely to experience depression compared with pre-menopausal women. Right. So what were the symptoms that you felt, and do you feel like you did feel any level of depression?
Yeah, like the symptoms were, well, I've always struggled with PMT anyway.
Okay.
So like when it would be that time of the month leading up to that, I would know. And actually, funny enough, Luke and everyone around me used to know because I used to have to pre-warn people,
Okay.
especially in TV, because for that week I would be very like lose my temper, cry, overreact, and think things were way bigger than what they were. And I just naturally couldn't help that. So I was a bit scared of menopause because I was thinking like, I'm already kind of like that. I don't really need more of this. So yeah, it's a scary moment. It's a scary change. My friend's done it before me, so she's given me a lot of advice, but it's unfortunate timing because like I'm thinking about finding a husband and he's probably going to think I'm completely insane.
No.
For the man's point of view, this would be for all the ladies listening who are single and going through perimenopause.
Yes.
From a man's point of view, obviously your situation is different because you've got your wife. But like, do you not think that it might be scary and unattractive for a guy to have to put up with a woman's hormones? She can't help it.
Yes.
She might flip out because he's left his something on the floor, or he might say the wrong thing and she might get really emotional about it, but she can't help it. Do you not think that the man's going to find that off-putting and think, I might just get with a 30-year-old and swerve this?
Well, in matchmaking, there's something that we used to call the matchmaking rule,
Right.
which was that most of our men would come into the agency. They would want a woman 1/2 their age plus 7. So a 50-year-old man would come in and want someone who is what? 25,
32.
so 32.
Okay.
And that was always the magic number.
Right.
So that was always typically what was desired. However, over the years, what I've noticed, especially because we're living longer, we're more active, everyone is more youthful to a certain degree,
Yeah.
right? That's beginning to even out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Where you have people who are looking for, or should I say men, heterosexual men looking for more men that are more women who are closer to their age, but typically always younger,
Younger. Yeah.
on average.
Yeah.
And I think this is the way it's been historically. But then there are the folks that, like me, who I have always dated older women,
Yeah.
So I think, and this goes back to me like being 6 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was early in kindergarten. But there are, so it's there's so many. I think the reason why I say this is such a great time for everyone
Yeah.
is that never before have there been more single people. That's one. Never before have there been more single people interested in a committed relationship. That's 2. And 3, never before have we been more informed about what's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Like we've never been this, we're talking about things today that even when you and I met 8 years ago, no one was talking about attachment style and no one was talking about being safe or holding space or any of those things.
Yeah.
But you now know these are the standards. These are the things that you need.
Yeah.
So that's why, I am excited. I do think that you should be out of the country.
Yeah, I do. I need to go. I'm waiting for my visa. That's why people are like, "Oh, you're still here." I'm thinking, "Yeah, take it out with the American embassy."
The visa is hard. We have conversations just like this one every week. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Can we spend just a moment on House of Sims for a second? Because I didn't realize, so you executive produced this, created this, this show, right? Multiple series of the show. It
Two.
was
We did two, yeah.
two series.
It was meant to be 4, but we ended up only doing 2.
Two. That's major.
I know.
That is the dream, quite frankly, of almost every single person on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Is to be able to then go off and executive produce and star in their own show,
Yeah.
right? I have a surprise for you.
Oh.
And I think that this is going to truly blow you away. So remember how I just said, well, what does the industry think of you? And you said,
Ice Queen.
Ice Queen.
Yeah.
And the industry, specifically in the UK, what do you think?
What do they think of me now?
Yes.
Don't know.
You don't know. All right.
No idea.
All right. I want you to.
You're going to whip out around there.
All right. I want you to read this. So what we did is we reached out to an industry insider here in the UK,
Right.
television industry insider. And this is what they had to say about you.
You're going to make me publicly speak. Why are you taking me back to school, Paul?
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to read it to you.
I couldn't read that out loud.
All right, but see, this is the letter, so you know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we said specifically, tell us about Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they wrote. Chloe Sims is one of the most underestimated, misunderstood women in this industry. She's strong, feisty, and fiercely independent. And she is one of the strongest women I've ever met, and yet so incredibly vulnerable. She was the perfect reality star because of her honesty and openness and her refusal to take... I've stopped cursing. She stopped. She doesn't take any shh. You want to fill in the blank for me?
It.
From anyone. Always confronting. She was never afraid to call it out, even when it made life hard. She knows who she is. She stands proud. I've always admired this more than she'll ever know. My respect for her exceeds any reality star I've ever worked with. She's built a life for herself and her daughter that is only possible because of her resilience and unwavering belief that she deserves more, and she truly does. She deserves an abundance of love and care for the sacrifices she's made for those she loves. Chloe is fiercely loyal and a powerhouse of a woman. Always underestimated, but forever exceeding her goals. She deserves the world, and I have no doubt she will continue to go out and get it.
Who wrote that letter? Are you going to tell me?
Anonymous. And it's not anyone we've mentioned, because we've mentioned a few people that we know, a few producers.
Wow.
That is someone. And that, by the way, is what I hear when I'm making my rounds, is just that. Did you know that?
Probably not. I think I don't know. Do you believe in fate? Because I feel like probably I needed to hear that, because I felt like I feel like I took a break, and I think I needed this break because I needed to come right back to, I don't know, like right back to my core, you know? And when I moved to LA, I mentioned to you when I come in, it was really hard time. House of Sims, LA. LA was my dream. House of Sims really knocked stuffing out of me. I don't know, but I did start to question my career choices, like my worth in this industry, and like I can't really tell you the real of everything, but it's been tough, you know?
You know, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that you have been fighting some battles.
Yeah, I've been through some battles
Yeah.
since I see you last.
Yes. Yes.
Even if it has been 8 years, it's been a good 8 years of some battles, but without being cliche, like some real growth. And regardless, obviously, like that person and you think a lot of me, but regardless of what other people may think or think they know, for me, I've gone from like a kid on a council estate without any money to living in Los Angeles and living out my dream. And like, I feel like I still got a lot more dreams that I'm going to live. But like, I feel like, yeah, even though I don't feel like I've made it yet, I don't know if that's just my personality type. Because when I look back and I think, flipping out, like, this is mental.
It is.
Like, it's really mental. And I walk around them streets that everybody posts all over the internet and I see them palm trees and I'm like, I live in LA. I live in LA. Like, I have to keep telling myself, this is my life,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
I don't know how much longer for because it's very expensive. But I have them moments where I'm like, shit, like I used to say it. I don't know if I said it to you, but an old clip of TOWIE come up and it said, I said in there, I'm going to move to America. I said it. It was the other day. I might have even saved it on my TikTok and I live there.
When I met you, you said you were going to move to America.
Did I?
You did.
Well, I had no way of doing that, by the way. And I wasn't even that well off when I met you financially. So I really just didn't know how I was going to do it. And this opportunity come and I just took it with both hands without really, it was very impulsive, Paul.
But I mean, but you leaned in. You know, this is reminiscent. You leaning into that opportunity is reminiscent of what happened when your aunt passed away.
Yeah.
It was instinctive. You just innately knew what to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to move closer to home. I'm going to protect my family. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
That's how I see that you've operated, right?
Yeah.
This is what you did with this opportunity to executive produce this show. I'm lean into it.
Yeah.
Make it happen. And you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Honestly, I wouldn't take that role again. I've definitely enjoyed working on some concepts recently, but I couldn't do both again. Hats off to all the producers I've ever worked with. That is a really difficult, hard job. Yeah, doing both, no.
No. Okay. Well, you know your limits.
Yeah.
You know your limits.
Yeah.
So then on that show, you have family
Yeah.
on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And your brother,
Charlie.
is I know is a bestie of yours.
He's my bestie, yeah.
Yeah. And just because I want to keep gifting you.
Yeah. Gifted. You're not going to keep making me cry, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. But I like this Chloe though. I mean, I like the other Chloe too.
What, the icy one?
No, I like this one better. I like this one better. If I can, I'm going to read this.
Okay.
This is from your brother, Charlie.
Oh, God, I'm definitely going to cry.
I love this one. Chloe, where do I begin? A mother, a sister, a best friend, and a star. There have been tough times, and there have been beautiful times, moments that felt too good to be true, and moments so low you wondered if they'd ever end. And through it all, I've watched you surf the waves of life with strength and grace, all while being unapologetically you. You're on the journey of a lifetime. And during that journey, I've had the privilege of sharing some of the best memories of my life with you. Together, we've taken on whatever the world threw at us. We crossed the Atlantic, chasing the so-called American dream.
Yeah.
And yeah, at times, it was a hard dream to crack, but we survived the hardest parts together. I needed you then, and I still do now. For me, you opened your heart and welcomed my soulmate, Georgia, as your own, and she loves you like a sister right back. And Madison, well, she's a carbon copy of you.
Yeah.
She has your hilarious humor, your good vibes energy, and she'll always be the best company in the room, with the exception that she definitely inherited a sprinkle of your sass too. But that was inevitable. As your brother, I couldn't be prouder of the woman you are and the life you're building. And if you won't say it because you're being humble for the podcast, I'll say it for you. You won in life, sister. Fondly, always remember what we say. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, that's his saying that he says.
Love you always, Charlie.
No,
Yeah.
I knew that one was going to upset me. Charlie's my absolute ride or die.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you love so much about him?
Well, he's my little brother, but I don't know, like, obviously I loved him. He was my brother, but he become, I don't know, he just become like my biggest supporter, like my confidant. Like, I can tell him anything. He knows everything. I could tell him everything. He's the least judgmental person that you're ever going to know. And like, I can just trust him, like he's just a solid, honest,
Yes.
like really, really genuine person. Having someone in your life who you can trust 100% is like really unusual. I haven't got many people like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everything.
It really is.
Yeah. It's everything. It's almost like you can equate the quality of your life
Yeah.
to the people you can trust.
Hmm. I always think, and I don't know about you, but I measure trust, like real trust, on who I would leave my child with.
Yes. Yes.
And if I wouldn't, then I don't fully trust you.
There you go. Can we talk about motherhood then?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Because I can attest to what you just said in terms of how Maddie was always with you,
Yeah.
but yet you didn't publicize her.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's something that the public probably doesn't fully know about you. There's probably this thought of she had Maddie tucked away somewhere while you lived this other life over here.
That's what the feedback was always. Like, imagine getting that twice a week, being told that you're shit mum, where's your daughter? Like, even up until recently, I'd still get it. People would be like, but where's your kid? She's 21 in a couple of months, but like, they obviously don't see her, so they don't know. They still think she's little.
Right.
Um, I don't know. Like, I told you that when I first got TOWIE, I was very nervous about Maddie and what this meant for her, because she's innocent. She didn't sign up to any of this. And at first I let her do a little bit of filming and it weren't working out. For example, I'm sure you know, like how you do a scene, sometimes it'll be filmed at day to night.
Yes.
And there was one particular scene which we filmed. It was on TOWIE. It's super cute, but she was totally distressed because we were telling her it was bedtime, but it weren't really bedtime, and she hates bedtime. She also hates going to bed by herself. So we're trying to get her to sit in the bed. The camera crew are in the bedroom, all the lights, and I've got this little tiny Maddie looking at me, hysterical. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. And I'm going, but we're not really going to bed. How do you explain that to a 5-year-old?
Right.
And I'm getting frustrated because I'm like embarrassed because she won't listen, and I just thought, no, this ain't really going to work out. And I think we did one more scene with her and it was outside, and they kept her outside a little bit longer than I really was comfortable with, like she was getting cold.
Yes.
And I thought, no,
This
is not for her. She hasn't made this decision until she's 16 and she can make this choice, whether she wants to be on TV. I'm not going to do this. She might have been in the background of things here and there, but that was it then. And then when she did turn 16, she did come on the show and do some filming, and then she decided she didn't like it.
Okay. and that's interesting. So then she removed herself. She told you, and then
Yeah, but I think it was only because, again, of social media and the media, because they were like saying things about her negatively.
yes.
And I think that had she'd had a more of a positive welcoming, that because she did like it and she enjoyed the filming part of it. So it's to be continued. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. How do you deal as a mother with receiving or seeing negative messaging about your daughter?
Oh, that is like gloves off.
Yeah.
You know, being associated with ITV, I had to be very careful what I did and said on social media, even more so now, because you can
Yes.
get like arrested for stuff. But the gloves are off. You better hope to high heavens that I'd never come face to face or find out who you are, because that's like, no. I've been known to DM people privately.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that'll come from a child.
Yeah. I can see it. So then motherhood has obviously changed you, right?
Yeah.
Because it changes everyone. Fatherhood has changed me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is your biggest lesson so far from, from being a mom? So for example, for me, I could tell you, I've learned I don't know half of what I thought I knew. Every day my boys are teaching me something. Every day is like a school day.
Yeah. I feel like the main thing to remember ever is that they grow up. They grow up, and one day they're going to be an adult. So just watch how you behave and how you treat them. Do you know what I mean? That little person's going to grow up one day. I'm not necessarily talking about Madison, I'm talking about myself as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, they grow up. So, and it's quick. Like, you take your eye off them for a minute and they're an adult. So I think that's probably all I've got to say on it. I'm not going to sit here and start giving out parenting advice.
I now, because you've unpacked the story,
Yeah.
you talked about these insecurities that you had early on.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because even when you talked about going to the school in Essex,
Yeah.
the first thing that you did to describe the more popular girls is you said that they had a body.
Like a full figure, yeah.
At a full figure, right? Because you said almost, and that attracted the boys' attention.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first procedure?
I think I was 26.
26, okay.
Yeah. And I had my boobs. And that was like, the fashion back then was, well, I'd say the fashion, not the fashion, the trend, the look was like all boobs, nothing else, skinny boobs. That was like the kind of thing, like sort of how the glamour models looked at the time and whatever. So yeah, I really wanted to have a big chest. I was obsessed with that, and I thought that was going to change all my dreams,
Yes.
And then I did that. And then when I went on to TOWIE, I got offered every surgery in the world. Like, I could have had anything I wanted for free. So then I wanted to go even bigger. And as luck would have it, someone must have been looking down on me. They couldn't fit them in.
Oh, really?
No, they couldn't.
So you're talking about actually in the
I said I want
procedure.
a big and fake, yeah, because that was my mentality then. And they said, we'll try. And then when I woke up, they was like, we're really sorry, they wouldn't fit, so we have to give you the whatever size. And I was like, I was a bit disappointed, but I've still got the same ones in now that they actually did manage to squeeze in. But these I've wanted out for about 5 years. I just can't be bothered to go and have a major surgery for no reason, really. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather wait until I need to take them out. But it's been something that I really would love to take them out. I don't want them anymore. It's not a good look, And I do tend to hide them most of the time. Like, I don't really wear things like that these days. And I don't feel ashamed of them. But like, when I go out, it isn't the look that I want to portray. When I see the photos, I don't think, oh, I look really great there. Do you know what I mean? I think, oh, my boobs look too big. That's how I feel now.
Okay.
And it's so funny how
Isn't that interesting?
spin on, because I would never have dreamed that I would say that. But yeah, if it wasn't the fact that it's such a big operation, you have to get put asleep, then you're like really in pain and you have to recover. Like, I just don't
And
even
there's a
mood
risk
for that.
There's a risk to it.
Yeah, there's a risk with everything.
Yes.
And it is a big operation to have. So that's why I haven't gone ahead with it. But I would really like to have my old boobs back, or something a lot more natural and smaller.
Look at that.
I would imagine it stemmed from feeling insecure
Yes.
to what I decided I thought everyone how I thought everyone looked good, which at the time glamour models were really quite a big deal here. Like now it would be a frowned upon thing, but back then the likes of Katie Price and like Lucy Pinder and these women, I'd be going to the clubs in London, they were treated as celebrities. And that was the look, you know? So like I aspired to the wrong, not digging them out in no way, shape or form, because I think look how you want to look. But had I have had a little bit more guidance, I don't know. Like, obviously, I wish I wouldn't have done all that, but I did. And that was how I wanted to look. And that's what I was doing. And no one could stop me.
All right, fair. Now, are you done
No.
with procedures? You're not done.
Well, look, if I had a magic wand, these would be out, to be honest with you. I definitely wouldn't do any crazy things. But I am 44 years old. And I do believe that when it comes to aging, you should probably do the things before they need to be done.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to wait until my face is down here and then be like, oh, well, let me get a facelift. Like, I'm going to do it this year.
A facelift.
Yeah. It sounds scarier than what it is. It's like, I'm getting it done in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
You can't get better than that.
Okay.
And it's a deep plain facelift. So they basically, I won't have any scars like visible. It's not like a traditional pulling your face back. They go in and they basically pull the muscles up. I feel, in my opinion, I feel like if I'm going to do it, I should do it before I actually really need it, you know, and then extend that
window.
Yeah.
That window.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ready for the, I'm not ready to age.
No.
I don't know if I'm going to like that, Paul.
No.
Men, you guys just get more like, you get rugged, which is a positive.
Gotcha.
Like, people like older men.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not really people that say they like older women. Like, men, that it's character, it's manly, it's masculine. Like, I wouldn't find a man attractive if he wanted to get a facelift. That would be an ick. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't date somebody who's like said that back to me and go, yeah, I know what you mean, I've picked one. I'd be like, get out.
But, you know, this is a double standard then.
I know, double standards. I know. That's what I mean. The list is long. I told you. It needs to be about my looks. Let's not worry about yours.
Okay. All right. Final
Okay.
question. Out of all of the incredible conversations you've had throughout your life, which one is the most memorable? So who was it with and what did you learn?
Oh, bloody hell, Paul. I think it might be what I told you earlier with that therapist, what he said to me. And he said that the love you expect from that person, you're getting it from someone else. And the same with Maddie, like the love that I think she should have all from me, she still got it, but she got it from that other person. That stuck with me forever. And then, I don't know, like probably, I mean, I've had like a lot of conversations with like my loved ones, obviously, and like little things that have been said along the way. I don't know, like I'm not sure what to bring up and what not to bring up, you know, like it's a bit like that. But yeah, I don't know, because you put me on the spot. When I get home, I'll probably be like, oh, I should have said that. And if I do, I'll text you.
Okay. All right. We'll put it in the show notes. How about that? We'll put it
if
into
I
the
do
comments.
come up, I'll think about this now. It's going to really play on my mind all the way back to Essex. I'll be thinking, what should I have said there? Like, because obviously I'm 44. I've had a lot of chats.
You have. I was looking forward to this. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going to end the same way I started.
Yeah.
Is how appreciative I am of you. You are someone of your word. You're an incredible hard worker. You're ambitious. And most importantly is you are kind.
Thanks, Paul.
You know, and that to me is everything.
Well, I really appreciate everything you said. And it's really nice that you see me that way, honestly. Because obviously I really respect you. And yeah, it's nice to hear that from someone like you, because I can take it in and take it home with me. And then when I'm having my cup of tea later, I'll be like, all happy with myself. Right now I'm a bit embarrassed. But later I'll be like, oh, like, yeah, thanks, Paul, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, that's really nice of you to say that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me.
It was our honor. Okay. Chloe Sims. When we started the podcast, I sent her a message. And I asked her if she could come on. And I thought she was going to say, yes. And she said, maybe, but just not right now. And what I realized in this conversation with her today is that she was going through a lot in her life. And she just wasn't ready emotionally, psychologically, but she was definitely ready today. I could empathize and sympathize when she said, those moments that I should have been spending time with Maddie, instead I was off in this corner practicing my lines, if you will, so that I can win the argument. That is often me. That time that I could be doing something with the boys or doing something with Jill, I'm off in a room, I think, over preparing for a scene that I know is going to be confrontational. And this conversation made me reflect on why. I'm really happy for her that she's found the self-worth and she's realized over the last year that she deserves better. We definitely need a part two. There are major chunks of her life that we didn't get into in detail. I had no idea that she didn't consider herself confident until 8 years ago when I met her. You know, there are many mind-blowing moments for me in this conversation. What's up, good people? If you've made it this far, let me tell you, I appreciate you. You are truly part of this community and you like long episodes. But quite honestly, this doesn't go unnoticed. Now, if you haven't already, I want you to hit subscribe. It's right here. And if you've really enjoyed this conversation, I know you're gonna love this one.